The first thing you need to understand about humans is that they are absolutely insane. No, seriously. I am not exaggerating for dramatic effect here. My name is Velkrin, and I have been observing these bizarre bipedal creatures for approximately 3 cycles now, and every single day they find new ways to horrify me. Let me back up. I am what you would call a xenobiologist, though that term does not quite capture the sheer terror of my current assignment. The Galactic Council, in their infinite wisdom, decided that someone needed to study Earth. Lucky me, right? They said it would be educational. They said it would be safe. They lied. So there I was, hovering in my cloaked observation pod above a place the humans call Nevada, watching a creature named Marcus attempt something called Parkour. For those of you fortunate enough to not know what that is, Parkour is when humans voluntarily throw themselves off buildings and pretend gravity is merely a suggestion. Marcus, bless his fragile calcium-based skeleton, decided that leaping between 2 structures with a 15-meter gap was a perfectly reasonable Thursday activity. He made the jump. Barely. I had already prepared my incident report, detailing the tragic loss of human life and requesting immediate extraction from this nightmare planet. But no. Marcus landed, rolled, stood up, and laughed. He laughed. His companion, a female named Ava, cheered and said something about doing it again, but higher this time, higher. This species has conquered orbital mechanics, developed fusion reactors, and somehow, they still think breaking their own bones is entertainment, but that incident was merely the appetizer to the main course of madness I was about to witness. 3 days later, my sensors detected unusual activity in the polar regions. A human research station was sending distress signals. Finally, I thought. A normal emergency I could understand. Equipment failure, perhaps. Structural damage from environmental conditions. Simple. Predictable. Wrong. The distress call was not about failing life support or damaged habitats. Oh no. According to the transmission, something had emerged from beneath the ice. Something old. Something that had been frozen for approximately 60 million Earth years, and these brilliant specimens of cosmic horror had decided to drill down and say hello. I redirected my pod immediately, protocols screaming at me to maintain distance. When I arrived, the scene was exactly as catastrophic as you might imagine. The research facility, a collection of prefabricated modules that humans somehow trust with their lives in negative 40-degree temperatures, was partially destroyed. Not by the ancient entity, mind you. No, the humans had blown up their own generator trying to contain it. Inside the main laboratory, through my enhanced sensors, I could see them. 6 humans, led by a woman named Dr. Yuki Tanaka, were attempting to communicate with a creature that my database identified as biologically impossible. It was massive, angular, composed of what appeared to be both organic and mineral components, and it was very much awake and very much unhappy about being disturbed. Any rational species would evacuate. Any sane collection of sentient beings would trigger their emergency beacons and flee to minimum safe distance. The humans brought it coffee. I am not joking. Dr. Tanaka, with the calm demeanor of someone discussing weather patterns rather than facing down a prehistoric alien entity, walked right up to the thing holding a thermal container. She was talking to it. In multiple languages, including mathematical sequences. The creature, apparently as confused as I was, stopped thrashing and tilted what might have been its head. Then Marcus, because of course it was Marcus again, suggested they try music. To calm down an ancient alien entity. And the truly terrifying part. It worked. Someone produced a portable audio device, played something called jazz, and the creature became noticeably less aggressive. It began producing harmonic resonances in response. They were having a conversation. Through improvised musical notation and mathematical patterns displayed on a cracked monitor that was running on backup power. I watched, sensors recording every impossible moment. As Dr. Tanaka's team established basic communication protocols with a being that should not exist, using methods that should not work, in conditions that should have killed them all several times over, Ava, who had been coordinating from the damaged control room, suddenly shouted a warning. My sensors confirmed it simultaneously. The ice shelf beneath the facility was fracturing. The entire station had maybe 4 minutes before it collapsed into the sub-zero waters below. The entity, apparently understanding the danger through their improvised communication system, began moving. Not attacking. Moving with purpose. Its massive form positioned itself beneath the facility's primary support structure. It was trying to help them. Dr. Tanaka made a decision that will haunt my analysis reports for cycles. Instead of evacuating, she ordered her team to help stabilize the creature's position. They were going to use it as a living support column while they reinforced the station from inside. Humans, I have learned, do not see danger the way we do. Where any logical species sees certain death and responds with appropriate retreat, they see problems to solve. Puzzles to work through. They turned an extinction-level encounter into a collaborative engineering project, and Marcus. He was already talking about naming the creature Kevin. They were going to name the ancient cosmic horror Kevin. So there I was, hovering above what should have been a complete disaster, watching 6 humans and a 60-million-year-old entity named Kevin attempt to prevent an entire research station from plunging into Arctic waters. This, I realized, was going to require significant revisions to every xenobiology textbook in the known galaxy. Kevin, apparently understanding the structural mechanics better than I had given him credit for, adjusted his position beneath the facility. The humans, working with equipment held together by what they call duct tape and sheer determination, began welding support beams into place. Dr. Tanaka coordinated everything with the calm efficiency of someone organizing a lunch meeting rather than orchestrating the most absurd rescue operation in galactic history. Then Ava noticed something on her instruments. Something big. Something approaching from beneath the ice shelf. Kevin was not alone down there. Of course he was not alone. Why would anything involving humans ever be simple? 3 more entities emerged from the fractured ice. They were similar to Kevin but smaller, faster, and significantly more agitated. My threat assessment algorithms immediately classified them as hostile. The humans, naturally, had a different interpretation. Dr. Tanaka looked at the readings and said, quote, "Oh good, Kevin has friends." Friends. She called the approaching swarm of prehistoric terrors friends. Marcus grabbed the audio device again, cranking up something called bebop. The approaching entities slowed. One of them produced a resonance that my translator interpreted as curiosity. They were responding to the music. Kevin vibrated in what I can only describe as encouragement, creating harmonic patterns that the newcomers began mimicking. Within minutes, the humans had established a basic musical dialogue with 4 ancient entities while simultaneously preventing structural collapse. They had essentially formed the universe's most unlikely jazz ensemble during an active crisis. I recorded everything, knowing that the Galactic Council would never believe this without evidence, but the ice was still fracturing. Time was running out. Dr. Tanaka had another one of those ideas that humans get, the kind that make my sensory organs hurt. She proposed using the entity's natural resonance frequencies to stabilize the ice itself. By coordinating their vibrations, they could theoretically reinforce the molecular structure of the surrounding ice shelf long enough to evacuate safely. The problem. This required precise mathematical calculations, equipment they did not have, and cooperation from creatures they had met approximately 20 minutes ago. Any reasonable species would reject this plan as impossible. The humans started immediately. Marcus interfaced his portable computing device with the station's damaged systems. Ava began mapping resonance patterns. Dr. Tanaka communicated the concept to Kevin through a combination of musical notation and hand gestures. Kevin, somehow, understood. What happened next will be analyzed by scientists for generations. The four entities positioned themselves at key points around the facility. Kevin maintained his support position. Dr. Tanaka conducted them like an orchestra, using a broken antenna as a baton. They began producing synchronized vibrations at calculated frequencies. The ice responded. Fracture lines stopped spreading. The entire shelf began stabilizing. It was working. Against every law of probability, I could calculate, it was actually working. Then Marcus looked at me. Directly at my cloaked pod. He waved. My stealth systems were military grade. There was no possible way he should have detected me. But humans, I have learned, have this disturbing ability to know when they are being watched. He smiled, gave me a thumbs-up gesture, and returned to coordinating with Kevin. The evacuation proceeded smoothly after that. The entities maintained their positions until every human was safely aboard their transport vehicle. Dr. Tanaka left behind a communication device, modified to produce specific musical frequencies. A gift. A way to stay in contact with their new friends. As the transport lifted off, Kevin and his companions produced one final harmonic sequence. My translator struggled with it, finally settling on an approximate meaning. Goodbye. Thank you. Come back soon. The humans were already planning their return trip. With better equipment. More music. Something called chocolate that they insisted Kevin would love. They had survived an impossible situation, and their immediate response was to figure out how to do it again. But better. I filed my report with the Galactic Council that evening. I documented everything. The park hour incident. The coffee. The jazz concert with prehistoric aliens. The structural engineering performed under lethal conditions. The impossible rescue coordinated through improvised musical communication. My conclusion was simple. Humanity does not succeed despite being reckless. They succeed because they are reckless. While every other species in the galaxy approaches the unknown with caution and fear, humans approach it with curiosity and coffee. They turn fatal encounters into friendships. They solve extinction-level problems with duct tape and jazz music. The council responded to my report within hours. They wanted to know if the humans posed a threat to galactic stability. I considered the question carefully. Marcus was probably attempting something called skateboarding off a building by now. Dr. Tanaka was likely designing better communication protocols for ancient entities. Ava was planning their next impossible adventure. I told the council. Humans are not a threat to galactic stability. They are going to save us all, probably by accident, while doing something we would consider suicidally dangerous and they consider a fun weekend activity. We should feel very grateful and very, very concerned. I remain on Earth. Observing. Documenting. Occasionally being spotted by Marcus, who has taken to leaving coffee outside my landing zone. Tomorrow, Dr. Tanaka begins her expedition to contact Kevin again. She asked if I wanted to come along. I said yes. Because if you cannot beat them, you might as well join them. Besides, I have always wanted to try this park hour thing. How dangerous could it possibly be? Velkrin out. Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.